Yo, we got a video here today, and it's The Bachelors. You need to stop dehumanizing these ladies. Stop with the truth bombs, all right? Don't tell the truth anymore. Just keep telling them lies.
You just like to belittle them emotionally instead? Okay. So you'd never hit a woman, you just want to take away all her rights. I get that, yeah. Apparently incels are obsessed with female validation, but
Notice how if you ever did talk about the 19th, they say it's all their rights. It's not just taking away potentially just hypothetically one single right. Oh, now you get to take away them all. They know how important that 19th is that they get to decide society's outcome.
MGTOWs are clearly only obsessed with females. For people who claim they're going their own way, they spend a hell of a lot of time talking about this other gender that they want nothing to do with and belittling them and putting them down. It does remind me of,
She's pretending like she's not belittling and being condescending to men right now. That's why it's one-way aggression. We've heard Kevin Samuel say it before. We've had it for 50 years. They're allowed to talk smack as much as they want. And if we even say it in a non-roasting way, if we just try to state the facts, it doesn't matter. They'll view it as roasting. That's how you keep them in a box. It's very black and white.
when you get toddlers who like pull a girl's hair because they like her. It's like that, isn't it? This bit was really weird to me. Society is a female construct, which we all know is like ridiculous. If you look back at history, if you've studied some
There you go. If you look back at history when you didn't have the 19th Amendment, sure, there might have been these patriarchies, these hierarchies, these competency, first, second, third, fourth. We weren't just all 100 of us, we're all the same. We've got the same strengths, we've got the same weaknesses, we've got the same skill level.
sociology even a little bit, you know that not all, but most major societies were patriarchal. They were essentially built by men, and it's a good thing that we're moving away from that because it often...
Why? How did they get built? You just said they were built by men. I hope you realize that was the words you said. That society was built, the bricks, the concrete, the floor, walls. I'm not a builder. See, I don't throw no shade to builders, plumbers, electricians. These are more important than some of the jabronis in politics.
wasn't always the best thing. Society has always been a female creation. Well, that's just not true. Women determine what is socially acceptable, correct, and favourable. Again, I don't think that's true. Otherwise, this idea of, female virgins wouldn't be so prized, because women know that, it's not really a big deal, is it? It's men who treasure that. It's men who...
Yes, thank you. It's not a big deal to you because you'll just enable horrible behavior on your daughters, granddaughters. It's been going on for a long time. It's been going on for over 100 years at least. And you guys want someone that has a low body count. Bottom line, if the ones that can still pull it off with 100 plus body count, congratulations, you bamboozled someone.
who put importance on that. When women favoured traditionalism, men who had traditional views were viewed in a positive light. Now that women Okay, so... he's claiming that, I don't know, even go back as far as, say, the 50s, maybe? Women were more traditional then.
Nah, let's go way further back. I'm kind of sick of people bringing up the 50s because, unfortunately, the 50s created the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I want to go back a little bit more than that, to be honest, back to what created the 50s. Because people talk about the 50s so well, we need to actually go back to the 1900s, 1800s maybe. Maybe we might be able to create something from there.
And wanted this nuclear family, and they wanted to stay at home and cook and clean, and that's why men who agreed with that were seen as great. It was definitely the women in control of that, not the fact that, society was...
we could flip it the other way around. You go down in the coal mines at 10 years old, 11, 12. You give away 8, 10, 15 years of your life because of hard labor, because of 60, 70, 80 hours in horrible conditions. Or you can just stay in the air conditioning, because that's when the vote came around for you guys. It's like, you got the air conditioning now? I think it's time for us to change society.
Pretty patriarchal, and men had all the power and were building up with the men. Meanwhile, they told women that they had to stay down in their little housewife roles, and this guy has it backwards is what I'm trying to say, I think. Now that women...
Unfortunately, the concept of a lady wanting to be a mother and a grandmother is very foreign to the modern mindset. Whatever you want to call what time we live in now, we are very far away from 1950s, and I don't even think that's exactly the answer. I think we need to have a different foundation, because the foundation of 1950s created 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, the swinging 60s and 70s. It didn't take too long. It's not like the 50s got all the way up to the 90s. No, we started going swing town in the 60s and 70s.
In favour governmental provision, men who hold traditional views are viewed as misogynists, only the misogynistic ones. Society views a good man as being wealthy.
But you view them all that way. I'm going to say chauvinistic because I don't actually hate anyone. I haven't committed any crimes. I'm not in that boat. See, the words that I say, people will say, oh, well, he thinks this way. And you've got others that are like in jail for certain things. They're not considered that. Actually, they still have girlfriends and wives. That's kind of crazy.
Sociable, ambitious, and handsome, because these are the traits women approve of. Society does not view men playing video games in a positive light because women can't directly benefit from it. If competitive video game playing was as popular and lucrative in the West as it is in places like South Korea, perception would change in accordance. Well, that's just pathetic. I think the problem that some women have with men playing video games is that, like, if they're in a relationship with them, they feel like they aren't spending enough quality time together because men are busy playing the games. Whereas, like, when it comes to me and Dan,
And I can actually agree with that, because that's, you could say it's a hobby. But when people are actually working their full-time job, they use that same excuse. We're not spending enough quality time together. We just drifted apart, even though he could be off trucking for 80 hours of the week. Could care less. They need to get that emotional roller coaster.
Dan likes his computer games, but often we tend to play them together, which is why I don't really have an issue with it. It's something like, it's an activity that we do as a couple. Nothing to do with if women can monetarily gain from it. Another post says, women think MGTOW hate them. It's not hate we feel, it's contempt. Contempt is a very different emotion. Yeah, and it's so much better, isn't it?
What about indifference? What about, hey, I'm not paying for your stuff? Because this is one badge of honor. Just for me, I have not spent $1 on Valentine's Day. Not $1. Not $1. And I know people that have spent lots of money, not on that day, but on plenty of other days to go with it.
Look down on you, you disgust us, we don't respect you enough to even hate you. Hate should be reserved for people on your level, your peers, not for malfunctioning helpmates. Someone asked them, real question, why? Like, what drives someone to think like this? Their reply, experiences with women. This is what I mean, it's so dehumanizing, and it's bizarre to me. I don't get how...
It's crazy, man. These people have an opinion, and it's so dehumanizing. Guess what, Rachel? You've got an opinion, and congratulations, you get to tell your side of the story.
You can see, like, literally half the population as, like, not even being human. Like, you disgust me, you're not on the same level as me. That is misogyny. You can't say that it's not.
Well, could you say it's chauvinism? I did the basketball example. Me and my 4 buddies against you and your 4 buddies. You said that you've got some ones that are good with finances. Let's go. Let's have a basketball match and see who wins. And then we'll do a chess match. We'll do 20 games each against each other on chess. We'll do a bunch of IQ tests. We'll do some bench press as well. We'll do some physical strength. Maybe we'll do a vertical leap, vertical jump, and we'll see if we're all on the same level.
If a woman said the same thing about men, it would be sexist and disgusting as well. You can't just look at someone and say, because you have different genitals to me, you're less than me. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I don't get the people who, and this is just a very personal thing, I don't get the people who put up such strong boundaries between people who just look different to them. The people who think, well, you can't do X because you have these genitals, or the people who...
Nah, I go more with logic, common sense. That's what I am. I go for the logic and common sense, so obviously it can have greater proportions in different groups, but as long as you're not emotional, as long as you can use some logic, that's good enough for me.
Think you must be X because you have this skin color, or you must be this because you have this family history. I don't get it. I think, going off topic here, it's the same as the people who, like, complain about, like, cultural appropriation stuff. And again, this is probably going to make people mad, but I don't get it. Why can't people just
say it? I don't know why people have to preface. It's going to make you mad. So you do that in real life, I guess, but maybe people try to enact it here on YouTube. It's going to make you mad.
Enjoy human things. Why do you need to have 5 generations of ancestors born in such and such a place in order to say, I want to do this hairstyle, or I want to wear this dress? I don't get it. I don't get these, like, walls that people build up. I feel like
it's control. I get to control you. I get to tone police you. You hear it from lots of different sides of the spheres. They try to say, you can't say that. You can't talk about that. You don't have the credentials to talk about that topic.
As long as you're being respectful. You know, if you want to have a certain hairstyle or something, yeah, maybe understand the history behind it. Maybe understand why people started wearing that hairstyle or that dress or these clothes or celebrating this holiday or whatever. It's good to understand the background, but as long as you're being respectful, I don't see any problem with people just celebrating all sorts of cultures and all sorts of...
Well, you use the term respectful a lot there, and just like a lot of terms like you use for involuntary celibates when you've got married men with kids and you're calling them that, it's that you start to lose meaning of the words. And who's going to get to say what's respectful and unrespectful? Because you might allow certain topics about the guys and any topic about the girls. Now, that's disrespectful. You just don't like them. You hate them. You get to decide it. It comes back to control again.
To different people and everyone kind of like coming together in this big amazing melting pot and like taking the best bits from all over the place and creating something amazing. I don't get why people wouldn't want that. I don't get
where's it been done? I mean, they're coming from these hypothetical melting pots to a place that had a different foundation, had people that created roads, cars, planes. I mean, do you not realize that you're getting different ingredients and expecting to get a better cake? Not even the same cake that was using the other ingredients.
Why they put up these artificial walls. It's really bizarre to me. Anyway, this person also posted another point saying, why would any man want to settle down with a woman who wasn't a virgin? We actually saw this earlier, didn't we? Yeah. So someone responded with the great...
You're just repeating the same thing now. And it's the same topic. The white dress is supposed to mean clean, purity, technically virgin. That's what it's supposed to mean. So I think you need to start saying we should be not using white dresses if they're not virgins. Maybe we have a rainbow color scheme. We can do the body count as far as the rainbow colors.
Great little response, because like men, women are also human beings. As human beings with relatively short lifespan and the capacity to make mistakes, we end up settling down with people we later regret having into our lives. Even completely ignoring your gross second-hand crack, a question like that shows you're lacking even the basic level of understanding. And people do like to be understood. People like to be forgiven for the dumb stuff they've done. If you're not willing to extend that courtesy to people, ain't no one gonna be willing to extend it to you ever.
Yeah, like if you buy a second-hand car, you want to know how many kilometers it's done. You want to know if it got the cam belt changed, if it needs an oil change, if you need to align the wheels. I mean, you're not going to be happy in real life if someone doesn't give you that information and then you find out and you break down halfway on a trip to Texas. But obviously, you can't give the same respect because it's not going to give the same outcome.
Brilliant, fantastic response, I love it. But apparently, this is not about people making mistakes. It's about a sexually depraved society where STDs, single mothers, and abortions are rampant. STDs are easily preventable. We just need good sex education to teach people how to be safe and to get tested often. And
see, a lot of people just think, oh, we just need better education. We can solve the morality problem with just education by just putting our lab coat on, opening up books, reading a bunch of books. That'll solve the morality problem. Where in history does that work? We are just doing a crazy experiment right now, and people are learning on the fly that they were told a bunch of lies.
So on. I see nothing wrong with single mothers or abortions. They're things that can't be avoided and that we should support the people who...
They can't be avoided. They're things that can't be avoided. You can't avoid single motherhood and early terminations. Can't avoid that. Hey, you can. There was societies that did avoid that, but not when you've got the swipe left, swipe right. Once we've got the smartphones involved, game over, dudes. I'm sorry to say it. The Snapchat invisible messages and all of that. You would be surprised the type of stuff that goes down. And guess what? I'm only in the middle of that. I'm sure I'd be surprised by some of the higher end of that.
You need to go through that stuff. Simple as that. There used to be standards. Now people are trying to normalize STDs. Giving someone HIV is not even a felony in California anymore. Women aren't built to have multiple sexual partners. Well, that's not true. It destroys their ability...
Wow. That's not true. She's giving you the truth right now, guys. This is why it hits so hard home. That you've got guys that if they do want to get married and have kids, they don't want CC riders, and she's kind of reading this now like, what? People, I thought I was told by my higher ups that just go have fun, go and live life, experience it all.
EDs. Giving someone HIV is not even a felony in California anymore. Women aren't built to have multiple sexual partners. Well, that's not true. It destroys their ability to bond. The process is called oxytocin depletion. Oxytocin is the bonding hormone. They also release the hormone during childbirth. Okay. I don't know if this is true.
It is. Pair bonding is a thing. And straight away, she's going to go into it with no education on it. I don't know if this stuff is true, these like kind of straight up like biology truth bombs. But I'm going to go back to my emotional argument. I don't do any logical arguments.
But I call crap on it.
Okay.
Just a hunch. Like I say, yeah, I don't know if there's any actual science behind this, but even if there is, not everyone wants.
Even if there is science, even if there is some context to his argument, who gives a crap? He's a piece of crap. We shouldn't listen to him because he just hates he hates people. We shouldn't listen to anything that comes across negative to us. Yeah, that's a sound foundation for society.
To bond with another human being. Not everyone wants to be monogamous. Not everyone wants to settle down and be married for 40 years. It's just not right for some people, and we shouldn't force it on those people if they don't want it. It's okay for people to have different lifestyles, you know? Doesn't matter what your gender is. It's okay to say, I don't want that for myself. On to a couple of other posts from other people.
Yeah, but you're forcing other things. Are we going to just pretend like stuff's not being forced in the video games, the movies, the TV shows? Well, are we just naive still? Are we in 20 years of post-Matrix like blue pills phase? This is still going on. It's kind of crazy.
People quickly. This guy says, kill all cam girls now. That is all. Because why would you want a woman being independent and making money for herself? And a similar...
See, that's just ridiculous. I mean, whatever. Stop paying them. How about that? How about that for stop paying these cam girls? Because who's paying for them? I don't think it's many ladies putting up cash for that, but there's plenty of thirsty...
Beta male.
Too much of that going on. But anyway, gents, we're going to leave it there. I'm done. I'm done with this. We did a two-parter on this, and when they have to come at phrases like that, I mean, I don't even try to look up that kind of phrase because it's just silly. It's just like total edgelord clickbait. Yeah, let's take him out. Let's burn him at the stake. I mean, come on, cut it out. Anyway, gents, we're going to leave it there. As always, thoughts, comments, but low. And hit that like on the way out. It takes 1.5 seconds, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.